can I have another wine?
You're listening to the Giggle Gang podcast.
I don't know what I'm talking about.
If you want it, just come get it.
A Giggle Gang podcast.
Just be myself.
For fuck's sake.
You know, sometimes people pay me to say ridiculous shit, and sometimes I just say it for free.
That's hectic.
You're listening to the Giggle Gang podcast.
Yeah. I was born in England. I was born in London. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah,
Do you know what hospital?
Yeah, North Middlesex Hospital.
I don't know why people tell people what hospital they were born in.
I know, man. It's like the only thing they have in common. It's like, who cares?
Yeah, I was born in the same hospital, but 4 years apart.
I came out of another vagina at the same time as same place as you did. Oh,
Did you come out?
Can we be friends?
Did you come out of a vagina?
I don't know.
Oh, because I was cut out of my mum's stomach.
Yeah, well, like I can, seeing you, I can understand why.
C-section. I was a big baby. Do you know how much you weighed as a baby?
No, because I don't care for that information.
I was £10.5.
I have no idea how much that is.
That's a lot.
Is that heavy for a baby?
That's so big that it can't come out. You know, the normal exit. You know, it can't go out the front door.
You have to be ripped out like an extra finger. Like is that?
You know that story of how they get a cow, right? And cows can't walk downstairs, so you walk a cow up to like the top of a 3-story building, and then they're like, "Oh, it was fucking crazy." Usually schools tell it, right? Well, on the last day of school, right, the seniors got a cow and they walked it up to the top level of the building, and I had to cut the fucking roof off the building to get the cow out.
What on earth?
Why would you cut the roof off a building? Just murder the cow. Chop it up.
I've never heard of anyone take a cow up a set of stairs.
It must be an Australian thing. It's like a folk legend in like all schools. It's like, oh mate, that bloody took a cow up here, and like cows can't go downstairs. Like
I've never heard of that.
Well, you haven't fucking lived, mate.
In Australia, I haven't lived in Australia. I've lived in a lot of places, but not Australia.
Where have you lived?
So let's start. I was born in London and then moved to Birmingham with my family when I was 4. And then when I was 9, my family moved to Egypt and lived there for 6 years.
Really?
Then, yeah.
So you went to school in Egypt?
Went to secondary school in Egypt. Yeah.
What was that like?
It was fine. The problem is, like, a lot of people ask me that, but I have nothing to compare it to because I was the only time I was 9 to 15, and so I don't know. Like, it was fine for me, like it was normal. But then when I think back on it,
but like, hang on, so 9 to 15, and then you came back to England.
I came back to England.
So you would have done 15 to 18 in England. Yeah. So you went to high school in Egypt and high school in England.
I went to the sixth form college part in the UK. So you know how we have that?
Sort of, yeah.
Basically, so after you finish school,
the cunts that are listening to this understand the school system.
Yeah,
there's a few Aussie cunts that just don't care.
Yeah, but you don't know. So I need to educate you.
Here we go.
I need to educate you. So in our system, it's like when people leave secondary school, like I think because our people have an understanding that you might not have learned everything you might want to learn. They have an extra 2 years that you can add on
if you want to.
Optional. If you want to. But most people do it automatically. But some people are just total legends and decide to sell drugs instead. So
yes, that is the way to go. And in Birmingham, that is very, very common.
It is very common.
So talk to me about Egypt. Where were you living?
I lived in Cairo. I went past the pyramids every day to go to school, but never went to visit. So that's
really,
that's how I would describe it. Yeah.
And what about the differences in climate?
Okay, it was very hot. Obviously, I remember like we still had a school uniform, but one day it was 40 degrees Celsius hot. Like that's how hot it was.
I get you.
And still had to wear the whole school uniform with black shoes, and my feet were literally on fire that day.
Yeah,
I tried to come in and I tried to do a protest the next day and come in sandals, and then I got in trouble. But
the Egyptians got angry about sandals. Was it Egyptian people running the school?
No, to be honest, I was wearing sandals with socks underneath them. So
right.
I did deserve to be shot.
Crime against fashion more than anything.
No, man.
So, why were you in Egypt?
Just family decided to move there. It's like something, like
from Birmingham.
Yeah, because look, I don't make decisions when I'm a kid.
Okay, but do you know the motivation behind the decisions? Like my family moved from New Zealand to Australia, but I know exactly why they did it.
I don't know. I've got theories. I've got a theory that it was like the late 2000s. There was a massive property boom, so and I was like, yeah,
Property boom in Egypt.
It was across the world. Remember before the financial crash happened.
Okay.
So I think they were just like buying and selling stuff all across the world. So.
Chasing the dream.
Chasing the dream.
Did they buy a pyramid?
I don't think they sell those anymore.
The real estate on the fucking pyramids must be crazy.
It's like, hey, look, it's a bit old, but it's a startup. It's like there's a new new vending machines coming into the area.
It's a doer-upper. It's a heavy renovation job.
Exactly. It's like I think I've watched too many of those daytime TV. Actually, I don't watch daytime TV. I'm lying.
Yeah.
I'm lying to make myself more relatable.
You don't have to be anyone but yourself, Adam.
I know, because everyone else is taken.
Yeah, I know. It's beautiful. It's beautiful, that sentiment. It's been like, everyone else is taken. As a single man, you should remember that.
Don't tell everyone that, man. I'll make me cry.
So hang on, what is going on in terms of relationships for you?
Oh, listen, let's not talk about this. I'm not even kidding.
Why? Is it because it's quiet?
Huh?
Is it because it's quiet on the love front?
It's very quiet. It's quiet on the love front, the Western front, and the Soviet front. It's quiet on all fronts.
It's quiet on all fronts. So if it's quiet on the dating front, right? This is the time. No, I'm in control, right? This is the time where you can reflect on what you're actually looking for, because if it's quiet on the dating front, you have a lot of time to think about what it would be like. So what exactly are you looking for?
Mate, firstly, okay then, I don't know. And secondly, why would I say this on a public platform? Okay,
because it's interesting.
It is interesting, but it's like, I don't know what I'm doing. So it's like, why would I give my half thought through answers to the entire world and put it on the internet for like the whole world to hear? Like, I don't want to do that. Just like keep that to myself.
Really? So you do have someone in mind?
No, I don't have anyone in mind. I've just got an idea of a person. I'm like,
but you don't want to share.
I don't want to share it.
You're becoming very cagey, and I don't know why.
This is the only thing I'm cagey about.
Let's talk about masturbation then.
Oh man, we can talk about this for days. So what's your favourite kind of porn? I'm tired of it, man. Honestly, I need to retire from that game. Anyway.
Really? Why?
Huh?
Why are you tired?
Really? Is that the thing you're going to quiz me on?
Yeah.
Is this where you're going to ask me the tough questions?
Yeah, why are you tired?
I'm tired of masturbating. That's what I meant.
But you're not going to actively seek, an alternative.
No.
Do you think...
I'm a paradox. What
does that mean?
Like, it doesn't make any sense.
Okay.
It doesn't make any sense.
Try and explain it to me.
Oh my! I'm gonna really have to define a paradox to you, but no, it's just...
I'm not university educated like you. Well, I am, but I did a joke of a degree. I did a degree in this.
Can we not talk about... Oh wow, this is a very elaborate setup for those who can't see. Very much worth the university education.
My education served me well.
Oh, wow. Did it just teach you how to buy a laptop and a microphone?
Fucking hell. I've never had so much fucking shade thrown on the setup.
Yeah, man. It's like, don't fucking talk about my relationship. So I'm
talking about my wanking.
Oh my...
Jesus, I'm worried about you.
Oh, I'm worried about me too.
What do your parents think of you? No, they don't agree.
No, I don't like it.
They don't like you doing comedy, or?
Yeah, I like doing comedy.
Because you're intelligent.
I know, they're just like, man, this guy's too smart. I don't believe he made it. I'm just talking shit.
No, but you are. You've got an engineering degree.
I've got an engineering degree. We could talk about that. I could talk about uni for a while. But like, yeah, it's, I don't know. It's just one of those ones. It's like, it's being the child of immigrant parents. It's like their dream is that, like, you'll have less struggles in life than they did. But as you know, through comedy, it's a career that has made a lot of struggling at the start.
Yeah.
And they just don't want me to struggle. That's all it is.
So what was their story? Where did they come from, and why did they get
I've heard bits of their stories, but they won't tell me the whole thing.
Really?
I've heard bits of it. Like,
was it a sad story?
Parts of it, yeah. Like we got. I don't know. It's like, I've never had a granddad. Okay. So could you maybe tell me what it's like to have a granddad?
No, just like an old guy that owns a tractor.
It's like
just my granddad. He's a good bloke. He gave me some good advice. Told me that I should be a lawyer. Didn't really work out. I did some gardening with him.
I imagine like a granddad is like an old man. Like every time you see him, he's like, "Is it gonna be the last time?" Is that the kind of vibe?
No, not really. I don't know. I was a bit weird in a way, and I sort of have a thought in the back of my mind now that my grandparents, although they're old, I don't think they're to the end of the road, so to speak. But when I left Australia to come here, I was like, I'm going away for a while, and I was the thing that would get me back, like emergency back, would be if something was to happen to them in terms of health wise and what have you. And I did think, like, when I said goodbye to them, it wasn't like I was saying my last goodbye, but I was like, I want to make sure that you know how I feel about you.
Could be one of the last ones.
So I'm going away for a while, and I never know what's going to happen. But every time I speak to my parents, ask what's going on with my grandparents, and they're going alright. They're just fucking tottering around, reading books and cooking scones, you know.
I'm surprised that like even white people live that long in Australia. Like I would have thought the sun would have burnt them off into the desert, innit? Like, am I being too sensitive to your grandparents?
I don't know, man. I don't know.
Do they listen? They're like, Grandpa Shaw, you listening?
Grandpa Shaw, mate, he doesn't even know how to send an email. That can't. We got no problems. Question for you though.
Go on then.
What is your? Because you always refer to white people. You say like, no, white people, right?
Yeah.
Obviously, you're not a white person. What is your feelings towards white people?
I fucking hate them. I can't wait for the race war to start.
Okay.
I'm sorry to say we'll be on opposite sides.
Man, that's rough.
I'm joking. I'm obviously joking. Actually, no. Why should I apologise? Listen, if you think I was being serious, I can't wait to see you on the battlefield. But
who do you think would win?
Huh? Come on. You guys, look. White people's entire careers is based on management. Okay, then meanwhile basically the only thing that matters is whose side are the Asians on. Okay then, and I think that it should be the Asians and the blacks against the whites. I think that should be fair.
What about the Latinos? Where do they go?
Well, they're brown as well, so
okay. So it's basically white people versus
white people versus the world, didn't it?
Okay.
But I think basically this also happened 200 years ago, and we all know white people decisively won, which is why I'm speaking English.
Okay.
But if we had round two.
Do you think your groups know a lot more than they did back then, and that's why it would be different?
Oh no, just white people know a lot less. So that's what it is. I think they've just become more stupid, isn't it? That's what I think. They've tried to share the wealth between too many of them.
Yeah.
And now it's like back those days they had like a few people had the money, so all those people were like very rich and very powerful. So they were like very tactical and smart with what they did. But then they gave all that wealth to their children, and their children just pissed it all away. Just started giving loads of money to the maids and the butlers, and then the butlers become rich. Now the butlers think they're the same level as the child, but they're not. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Am I just chatting shit?
No, I'm interested to hear what you think.
To be honest, this is not actually an opinion I have. I'm completely making this up as I go along.
I thought this was really well thought out.
No, it's not. I'm completely making this up as I go along. As I'm talking, I'm just there like, how long can I keep this going? I don't know.
I'm interested in your logic, right?
The race war.
If you have a rich parent, you're like, damn these rich parents, I'm going to give all my money to the maid.
That's what I'm saying.
And the maid's there just being like, driving around in Lambos, buying fat houses, then the maid gets a maid.
They look like the Migos in there.
Oh my god. What's your opinion on money?
On money? Oh man. Cash rules everything around me. As the legendary, was it Mom Deep who said that?
I don't know, mate.
Oh, are you kidding me? I was being stupid as fucking Wu-Tang, man. What's wrong with you?
No, man, I'm white.
Still though.
As you said, white people know less than less.
Less and less, man. If you guys have fallen off. No, man, it's true though, man. If you not know that song, Cash rules everything around me.
No.
Come on, man. It's a great song, Wu-Tang, man. You need to get edgy. You need to get with the program, bro.
I'm sorry, man.
Cash rules everything around me.
Yeah.
I don't know the song properly.
Okay.
But which is quite embarrassing. I probably shouldn't have said. Can you edit that out? I don't care for anything else I've said, but can you just edit out that I don't really know Cash rules everything around me by Wu-Tang properly? Okay, that's the only thing I want you to edit out. Okay.
Now might be a good time to tell you, I don't edit anything.
Yeah, I know.
and
I've
also,
listened to the podcast before.
There's also another rule. Do you know what the other rule is?
What?
There's no backtracking. So once you say something, it's gospel.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine.
There's no backtracking.
That's fine. But my opinion on money is, do you know what? It'd be nice if I had some. Yeah, it'd be nice if I had some, but it's not the end of the world. As you like, you know, as you said, I studied engineering at uni, so I'm very smart and could be earning a lot of money. But instead, I've chosen to be here sleeping on your couch. Okay, which I'm very thankful for. But if I had a real job, I would have to do that, would I? So yeah, this is. But it's because I've decided to sacrifice it for my art.
And how much does your art, which is comedy, how much does it mean to you, or how much of your identity is that? Do you feel like that's all you are?
No, there's more to me than just doing the stand-up. There's so much more to me than just that. But right now, at least for the time being, it's all I am as a person. Like, it is literally all I am. But
is it all you want to be?
no, it's not all I want to be. But it's just like I just know that I have to be this person for now until I get to where I want to be. And then when I get to that point, it's just going to be like, and then I'll start to probably think about developing some kind of a personality.
Okay.
But until then, I don't need one. I've got comedy.
So where is the point you want to get to?
Oh, basically, my dream in comedy, I just want to pay my bills doing stand up, and everything else on top of that is gravy. That is my logic. So it's like, as long if I could get enough gigs to pay my rent every month, and you know, buy some food, and then that's it. Everything else on top of that, it's all.
You're gonna have to be earning quite a lot, because to buy food for you must be expensive.
Hey, listen, they don't know I'm fat. They don't know.
There's gonna be a photo of you attached to iTunes.
Look, when are you gonna take this picture? Because I'm not ready. Okay.
Adam looks like pure shit right now.
I've literally just woken up. Okay, man, like sleeping on your sofa. In the sleeping, actually, no, I wasn't sleeping on the sofa, but here's a very nice airbed. I don't think the airbed would hold me, but
it does.
It does, man. It's a very good airbed.
High class, mate.
I saw it plugs into the wall. I was like, my god, this guy's posh. This guy's posh.
Yeah, I've got what I like to call fat stacks of cash, and I just swing it around.
I would highly recommend if anybody wants someone to rob. I would highly recommend Matty Shaw's house. His address is let me put it up.
Yeah, come fucking try and rob me, cunt. Literally.
Yeah, to be fair, there's so much security walking into this building, and it's so confusing to get here. The amount of times I've been lost outside the house, I'm like, I'm here, I recognize this place. Where is this flat?
Have you ever been robbed?
Nah, but I've robbed a few people.
Really?
No.
Oh, you can't tell blatant lies, mate.
Oh, watch me.
It's not even black.
This is all tattoos.
If you were to rob somebody, how would you do it?
I think I would do it at Ferret Point. Okay. If you've heard of Gunpoint,
yeah,
choose Ferret Point.
What's a ferret point?
Just get a ferret, hold it to their chest, and be like, "Give me all your money." And I'm just hoping that the sheer shock from me holding a ferret like it's a gun will just make them think,
this guy must be crazy. Where did he get these fucking ferrets?
And why is he holding it like a gun?
Where do you get ferrets in this country?
I don't know, man.
Are they easy to get?
I don't know.
You've not given much thought to this robbery.
I've told you I'm lying again, man. I'm making this up as I go along. But if I had to rob someone, I want to do it. I don't know. I've always thought of like just scamming someone. It's like, I like scamming people, man.
Do you think it would be easy to scam, especially white British people?
Yeah, it's so easy.
Like,
so easy.
I don't know. There's so many scams that I hear about, and I'm like, damn, I could have done that.
Yeah, but it's like the problem is obviously like with every scam, even Rome must fall. No matter how big you get.
Yeah.
You're gonna have to fall in it. And I'm like, why not just cut to the chase and just don't go up? If everyone has to fall, I'll just stay low. Do you know what I mean? I just chill on the ground floor. It's calm because I don't have to take any stairs.
So you mean like just like a few small scams or no?
No, I do no scams. I do no scams.
Okay.
But if I had to rob someone, I'd probably open a bank.
Interesting.
Yeah.
That's
but steal their money. White collar crime, baby.
That's where all the money is. That's why I don't understand when people like break into a house in Salford. I'm like, what are you really going to find?
Just get a job. Actually, no, I'll tell you this. I'm so broke, I got rejected from a job at the bank.
Really?
Yeah, they're like, your credit's too messed up, and like they didn't trust me.
Really?
Yeah.
No way.
Yeah, that's funny.
That is crazy. What level of job was it?
It was literally just call center.
Oh my god.
The call center of a bank were like, listen, like we did a credit check on you and you're too low risk. I think what it is, it's like because it was in the I was applying for a job in the cancellation or like the refund, the
bit where
fines.
they give out money.
No, they take money back.
Oh right.
They take money from people, fines and all that kind of stuff. So I think like because I had such a bad credit rating, I'd have a lot of sympathy for the people I'd be calling.
Yeah.
So if I called someone and they were like, mate, look man, I'm paying, like I can't pay my rent, man, I need it, please don't take this money out of my account. Like I would be sympathetic to them and be like, you know what, I'll give you another week. Because I know I'll do that, innit? And I think they just their like credit rating was low. But obviously, if you've got good credit, like basically, I have this thing about there are some people in this world who've never been broke, and that scares me.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, how could you you've never made the decision between trying to get home or eating dinner? Like you've never done that.
I've never done that.
What?
Yeah.
What? How?
I've never been broke.
How have you never been broke?
So when I was in school, right, I was living with my parents and I was still like working anywhere from like 15 to 25 hours a week, right? So always had plenty of money, but all the money was mine. I could do whatever I want with it. But I was a good saver. I would always have money in the bank. I just wouldn't buy unnecessary shit I didn't need. And then when I left school in the November, and in the January I got a sales job, going out and selling, and it was commission only. So some weeks I get paid really well, some weeks I get paid really shit, but it was good. Then I got a proper call center sales job. I was very good at it. It was very well paid. And then I just did call center sales all through uni. So I had no student debt. I paid for my whole uni up front. And then I had enough money to take 9 months off work and just travel around, and then still have money left over. And I'm just good at saving. And I got really well high paying jobs at a young age.
Wow.
I'm just good at what I do.
I've been broke all my life. Yeah, so
I feel like a lot of British people are.
Yeah, but it's also being an immigrant. Like if you're it is.
But you're not an immigrant. You're
a child of an
here.
immigrant. Of an immigrant. Like it is. It's one of those things. It's an interesting thing, which I don't know. Like I don't want to talk about it because I'm trying to write some bits about it. But
you can test them out.
I'm not going to test them out. You're not going to give out the gold for free. Are you mad? Are you mad?
This is a great proving ground for up and coming material.
No, I don't believe that. I hate it when people do material on a podcast. Like when I listen to it, I hear them stop doing your jokes. Okay, this is for the stage. This is a podcast that's meant to be off the cuff. So I'm not gonna do it. I ain't gonna do it.
Well,
but no, basic money. Back to the topic at hand. Money. I'll leave my Venmo details in the description if you can send me some money.
What's Venmo?
You know Venmo? It's a cash sending app on Twitter. Like a lot of girls use it to get their sugar daddies to pay them, and then they send them pictures of their feet in return.
Okay.
Do you not know about this?
No.
You don't know about the whole sugar daddy industry that's on Twitter?
Oh yeah, the sugar daddy industry, but not people paying for pictures of toes.
Yeah, that happens.
What?
You don't know about this on the internet? I don't know. A lot of rich guys feet. I don't know why, but it's also it's a big thing. It's honestly, it is so easy to make money. It's so easy to make money if you want to take your clothes off nowadays.
Do you think it's an imbalance?
Sorry?
In terms of genders, guys are not making as much money to take their clothes off.
Yeah, but we get paid 20% more, so who cares? Let's be honest.
Do you really believe in the gender pay gap?
No, I don't care anyway. Even if it does exist,
you're still getting paid like shit.
I'm still not getting paid. So why would it matter to me?
You're like the worst person to be a politician, man. If it doesn't affect me.
Okay, I actually considered being a politician.
Really?
And also I can prove to you why I'm the best person to be a politician.
Okay.
Basically, so politics is like sport. Okay, then it isn't about what you actually believe in. It's about how much you can do for your team. Okay, then so therefore, if you actually care about the issues, you'll never be a good politician because then you'll always be crying, why isn't your policy getting through? Yeah. But if you're thinking of it like a sports person and you're like, okay, then I don't really care about how this thing gets done. I just want about this policy to get through. Then you're more likely to work with the other side and use every single tactic you possibly can to get what you want passed. Therefore, the best people who should be politicians are people who don't care about politics.
So the people that have no emotion in their decisions are more likely to get them through because they're more likely to compromise.
Yeah, but there does need to, like, it's weird that there does need to be a balance. There needs to be enough people who actually care about the stuff obviously involved.
Okay.
But like you do need some people who like don't care and are just there to get shit done. Basically, you need those people.
What is the? Did you like? How far did you go into looking into being a politician? Like, how do you do it?
Oh, no, I ran in. When I was at uni, I was really involved in student politics. So like,
What is that like?
Student. Oh my. It's okay.
Because I thought there was enough politics at uni without being involved in student politics.
Oh my, it's so much fun. For me, it was so much fun. Like I remember. So this is how I got involved in politics. Like first week at uni, my mate who's already at the uni is like, oh Adam, there's council elections for the student union, you should run. And I was like, I don't care about politics, why should I run? And he was like, listen, don't worry about it, I'll get you elected. And I was like, okay, fine, I'll put my name down.
I'll get you elected, so it's already like under the table, fucking dodgy ass shit.
Yeah. And by that, what he meant is he just sat in the prayer room and everyone who came in, like, because they didn't know that, but I'm Muslim, so we sat in the Islamic prayer room and in the mosque. We had a mosque in our uni. It wasn't really a mosque, it was the prayer room. I shouldn't have made that clarification, but anyway, so we just sat in the prayer room with a laptop and everyone who came in was like, if you wanted the elections, come vote, and just did that. Like, I really shouldn't be saying this, but it's been like 7 years now, so it's fine.
Fine, man.
It's fine.
Once you're elected, you can literally go to town about how you did it.
Exactly. So he got me elected, and then the first council meeting that I went to, the first vote they had a 50-50 split.
What were you voting on?
I can't remember. I can't remember.
Give me an example of something you might vote on though.
So the kind of stuff we debate about was it was always like useless stuff. Like for example, I remember there was a big thing about banning the song "Bloodlines" from being played in the student union bar. Bloodlines by Robin Thicke.
Oh, Bloodlines, right.
So they were like, there's a big debate about banning that song.
Why? It's just a song.
No, but it's a song about, basically, like, it's very rapey.
Okay.
You know you want it. You know you want it.
Okay, so it's a song. It's a song that promotes rape culture.
Yeah.
But commercial radio stations absolutely flogged that song.
Yeah. So we were like, not playing this union bar, and I think that passed. But that's the kind of stuff. But for the first debate that I had exactly 50-50 split, and I was just like, oh my god, this is so exciting. And then because of 50-50 split, the bylaws said that then the vote goes to the president of the student union, and he had the final decision, and it was like. And I had never felt excitement at that level. Like, it was the rush I had. I was like, do you know what?
But you didn't even care about the issue.
I didn't care about the issue, but just the fact that there were half this audience hates the other half of the audience. I loved it. It felt like I was at sporting events. Like, that's what it felt like to me. And that's when I first understood sports. And then from then I was like, I'm hooked. I went to every single meeting, and then I ran in a couple of elections. I lost, but I got to do a lot of cool stuff with it, and it was really fun. And did
you ever have any like proper debates with people? Like
I never really was like, because I was never really the one who like would put big policies forward. I was more about like, what policies do people want to do, and then how could we get those things passed. So I was very much an enforcer.
Yeah.
I was very much like, I remember once one of the things I was involved with was the National Union of Students.
Okay.
So I was involved with that. And that's like the national body for all the students unions across the country, and they have a national conference every year in April, and people hold elections there. So I was working with some people to try to get as many people. I don't know if I should be saying this on public. I don't care.
Fuck them.
I don't care. But basically, there was what I was doing was I was organising with a bunch of other Muslim students to get as many people to run in those student union elections across the country. Mm-hmm. So I was calling different, like, because I was part of the Islamic Society, I'd call up like committee members for another Islamic Society and be like, guys, you guys should run for this election. I can see on your website that it's open now. You guys should consider doing this, and they would do it. And I got about like about a block of like 30 people to the conference who would all run in their senior elections, and that was like so fun because I was there. I got there, and all these people that I had never met before but just spoken to on the phone, had all come to this place in April, and it was amazing.
What were you meeting for in April? What's the purpose?
So it's a 3-day conference every year, and the whole point of the conference is it lobbies on behalf of students. That's the idea, apparently. Or it lobbies on behalf of student unions.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so every year they hold their elections where they elect their officers. So they have like a bunch of different positions they elect there, and they also like debate policy. You understand? So therefore, like there's all these different factions and stuff in there, and each faction tries to like debate their policies and put their thing forward. So there's a massive Labour group, there's us, who's the Muslim group, there's the super left-wing people, and then there's the young conservatives, but they're not that big, and then a few other people who are just kind of like doing their own thing. So it's like a mix of different people, and everyone's trying to debate issues, and it's just like so much, and it was so much fun just watching all these different groups trying to play on each other and like use each other against each other.
So is there like a formal set of rules that like you're supposed to follow when you address people and everything?
Yeah, no, there's like a proper procedure and everything. So this is the reason why I understand how Parliament works. So in Parliament, when someone puts a bill forward, so someone puts the bill forward, and then a lot of people have amendments on it. So, for example, so normally the way the debate would go is they present the policy, have the argument for it, and then they would go into the amendments. So first amendment, second amendment, and then they'd vote on each amendment. And I'm not sure if this is the case with the government, but I know if someone passes an amendment, if the conference votes to pass an amendment, but they don't pass to approve the entire policy, the amendment becomes the policy anyway.
Right.
So that is like tense. So it's like sometimes someone could add something to a policy. This is very boring.
This is interesting.
Is it? No, this is interesting for me. I could talk about this for days, but then I was just thinking, I was like, most people don't care about this. But
fuck those cunts.
No, but like, I'm one of those people, and I'm trying to be more like those people. That's why I'm not working in politics right now. But yeah, no, it's definitely interesting, and I do really enjoy it. I do love politics. Like, obviously, everything that's happening with Brexit right now.
Does it excite you?
It's so exciting. But do you know what happened? So
no.
last
Educate
week.
me.
So this is what happened over the past week. This is Brexit talk. So I hope you voted to remain.
Aussie listeners, strap in.
So as you know, so 2 years ago, in 2017, Theresa May put out Article 50. She declared Article 50. She was like, Article 50, go. So it gives 2 years to work out how they're going to leave the EU. So that 2 years ends on March 29th this year. Now, before we do that, we have to have some kind of a deal in place with the EU. Okay. So the options that we've got, so Theresa May has come up with a deal, but no one's liking that deal. No one likes it. So they've already had one vote to pass Theresa May's deal, and Parliament was like, no, we don't like it. And then this time she was like, okay, we're going to vote on it one more time. So she made some amendments to it. Okay, then. So they've made.
Is it just her doing it? It must be her party.
No, it's her party.
Okay, right.
She's in charge, so we're just calling it May's deal.
Okay, right.
So she's put forward a deal again. She put this forward, amended deal. I don't even know what the details of the deal is, but she's put it forward. On Tuesday, they voted, and Parliament voted it down in the biggest. I think the first time she lost it, it was the biggest history for the government in Parliament's history. So obviously the government's in charge, and they still lost that vote, like the biggest in history by the biggest margin. So do you know what that means?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know why I'm patronising you, but
I don't know a lot of shit, man.
But yeah. So they voted that against. So then, if they don't want May's deal, that means they're going to leave with no deal. Right, but they can't just leave with no deal. Parliament needs to say we want to leave with no deal. So on Wednesday night they were going to have a vote that says, are we going to is Parliament okay with us leaving the EU with no deal? Okay then. However, there was an amendment added called the Spielden Amendment. It was put forward by this MP something Spielden, I can't remember her first name, and Yvette Cooper. Okay, then the amendment was basically to say, so what is voted for is like we can have no deal. Does Parliament want to leave the EU with no deal? Okay, then the amendment was saying if this vote gets voted down, we never want a no deal Brexit. Do you understand?
Right.
So that amendment passed. Okay,
right.
Then. So before that vote was meant to happen, it was meant to be like, do we want a no deal Brexit? And Theresa May was like, Tory MPs, vote however you want. I don't care how you guys vote. Do whatever you guys think is right for your constituents. After they put in the amendment to say no deal forever, so called the hardest, the 3-line whip on the entire party was like, listen, you guys have to vote against this. And she still lost it. And that's the most serious thing. So it's like, it's complete. So when people say she's lost all power, she's got no, like she doesn't know what she's doing. Literally, the biggest piece of, the strongest thing she could enforce, she lost using that. So that's what I'm saying. So basically, the options are, so right now, no one has any idea what's happening. We're set to leave the EU on the 29th of March, but Parliament said we can't leave without a deal ever. We can't extend it for too long, because if we extend it past July, we're going to have to take part in the European elections, which are happening in May across Europe. And if we don't take part in that, we're not going to be members of the EU. So who knows what the fuck can happen? So
it's just this crazy time of uncertainty.
And it's so exciting.
Can I ask you, do you have a view on Leave or Remain?
Of course I want everyone to remain.
Okay.
Of course I want the UK to be part of the EU. It's just stupid. It's just a bunch of people who don't know what they do. Again, white people are becoming more stupid. Okay, that's what the one thing we can learn from Brexit. Okay.
Do you feel like
you guys used to rule the world, and now look at you?
Do you feel like as well, like when it was voted in, no one really knew what they were voting for, or what impact it would have?
100%. Oh, did you hear about that group, Niggas for Brexit?
No.
I'm joking, there was no such thing. I just thought of the idea.
My asshole just like tightened up. I was like, oh my god.
Niggas for Brexit.
Could not be saying
I'm tired of the EU bananas.
Fucking hell.
My homie got locked up for selling cooked bananas.
What is the rules around people of colour using that word?
I don't care who uses it. I honestly don't care.
Really? I definitely can't use it.
If you want to.
No, I can't.
If you want to, go on then.
I definitely can't use it.
You guys have no idea, but I'm holding a glass over his head, just waiting for him to say it.
No, I'm not going to say it. No, it's a heavy word, but like people have a problem with like Australians saying cunt, which I don't have an issue with at all.
You know what those people are?
Cunts. Yeah, Cunts. I get you, man. I've got a question for you, completely off the politics topic. How do you go in water?
What?
Like, how do you go like swimming in that?
I don't go swimming. I don't do any exercise.
You never go like to the beach just to enjoy your day?
What beaches do we have in the UK?
I don't know, Blackpool?
Oh my god.
You're not a beach guy?
No, I'm not a beach guy at all.
Have you been to a beach?
I've been to a beach.
And you didn't like it?
No, I liked it. But it was in Kenya. I'm not going again.
Okay.
Okay.
What about like swimming pools?
Oh, I like swimming, but I don't really go swimming. I don't really like. Come on, fat guy, man. I thought you were gonna ask me about like some chocolate or like what's your favorite food or something like that. You're asking me about fucking swimming. What the fuck, man? It's like you don't even know me. I thought we were friends, mate.
I almost expected you not to take any interest in swimming, but I was just curious to your attitude towards it, and it seems very negative.
To be honest, I do like swimming. It's a fat friendly exercise, I think, but I don't do enough of it.
You want to be able to do more?
I just want to do more exercise, to be honest.
Would you ever consider leaving the UK, and how would you feel like that would benefit your health and your mental state?
Well, I don't know.
Do you feel like if you were in a different climate, you'd be motivated to exercise
Just
more?
because I'm in a different place doesn't mean I'll stop crying.
Okay. Why do you cry now?
Because life is shit.
Okay, but do you think life would be better if you were somewhere else?
Not necessarily.
Really?
Not necessarily. I don't think so. I think basically with social media and all that kind of stuff, like the world is a lot smaller than it was than it used to be. So it doesn't really matter.
Do you think that's thanks to social media or planes?
No, definitely social media.
Okay.
Definitely social media makes it smaller. Like, because planes, it's like, it's like even if you take, say for example, if you took a direct flight from LA to here,
yeah,
unless you tweeted about it, no one would know that you were coming and they couldn't prepare for you. So social media is the one that has more of an effect on making the world smaller.
Who's going to prepare for you though?
Huh?
Are you talking about in stand-up or just
my hosts in different area codes?
Okay, right. Have you thought about living anywhere else?
I'd like to live in other places. But Right now, it's who knows? Who knows what's gonna happen? I'd like to. If you're an American listener and want to give me a green card marriage, I'll happily take you up on that. You can come.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I'll do that.
So America? Why America?
No, not necessarily. Just like the thing is, basically, I've never had the young person I want to travel the world bug that most of the people do. I think it's because I travelled a lot when I was a kid. Obviously, moving around quite a lot. Right now, I am. I've seen enough of the world. It's all the same, and I want.
Do you really think that it's all the same?
I mean, there's a few archetypical. There's a few types of places, but once you understand what type of place you're in, it's all the same.
What about like different cultures and the way they do things?
Oh, people are different, but again, I'm too poor to protect myself from when things get dangerous, so I don't really get involved.
Okay.
If that makes sense. You know what I mean?
Not really. So
basically, say for example, you go to some random tribe in South Africa or something.
Okay, but you could just go to Italy.
But you could say for example, you do go to Italy, and you don't speak the language, obviously, and if you've got no money. Okay, then you go there and you find yourself in an awkward situation. Mm-hmm. If you've got money, you could just pay someone and be like, "Hey, look, take your car, get me to the airport, and I'm leaving." Okay. You could do that, right? But if you're poor, you're stuck there until your flight leaves. Do you get it? So it's like there's no way of getting out of any awkward situations.
What would be an example of an awkward situation?
I don't know. Like someone's like, say you're in a taxi and then someone just puts someone in the boot of the car. Like that's what I mean. Like that kind of.
That would be enough to make you go to the airport and go home.
Yes.
Really?
Someone just like I don't mean like an alive person. Oh, even a live person would be scary. But I'm saying like if someone just puts someone in the boot of a car.
Is it more alarming if the person's alive or dead?
I think alive. Because what are you gonna do to him that you couldn't do to him here?
I think it's more alarming if they're dead.
Nah, because if they're dead, we can't do anything about. Can't bring them back to life. But if they're alive,
but the person putting them in the car, why are they putting a dead body in the car?
Obviously to get rid of it.
If you're just kidnapping someone, it's just a bit of a laugh, isn't it?
Yeah, it can be, bro. Man, I love. I was watching Joey Diaz, and he has this bit about this guy he kidnapped in '87.
Yeah.
And he keeps trying to invite him to his gigs, and he's like, the guy's not showing up. And he's like, why isn't he showing up? Like I thought we were friends.
They were friends. You know the guy and they were friends.
Have you seen the bit?
He kidnapped him and robbed him.
It's like of course I can. I kidnapped him. It's like I didn't know. I was like,
your Joey Diaz impression is terrible.
No, it's terrible. I can't do voices. I'm trying to do more voices because I feel like that's what people want in comedy. Have you not seen it? All the biggest comedians in the world: Gabriel Iglesias, Trevor Noah, those two.
Russell Peters. Biggest names in comedy.
Russell Peters.
Okay,
then those three, will do voices. So it's like that means
voices are the way to go.
Voices are the way to go.
That's right. If you don't have a voice.
If you don't have you don't have you have to have not a voice. You have to have loads of voices. Okay, they need to be able to switch it up a lot.
So what's the voice you've been working on?
I've been trying to do more London gangster voice, but I'm not very good at it because I don't know what it sounds like. I've been trying to imagine in my head what does a London gangster sound like, and I'm like I can't.
I've been trying to imagine a voice, but I don't know what it sounds like. Oh my fucking Christ.
Do you know what? Yeah, that's a special treat for you guys who made it through the politics
stuff.
Because I'm pretty sure if you look at when people stop listening, as soon as I talk about politics, there's a massive drop off.
Man, if you're still here, thank you.
If you're still here, I will marry you.
So, I wanted to talk to you about your parents, and obviously your parents aren't going to listen to this. You don't want to talk about your parents?
I don't want to talk about parents.
But let me just ask you the question, and then we'll see if we can go from there, right?
I probably will not answer, but let's see.
Your parents' expectations for you were quite high because they came from such a difficult place. And do you feel like, for them, since they got the opportunity to live in England, they've worked so hard to make this work?
Yeah, the thing is they've done their best, and I'm thankful for what they've done. But I'm not they did the best they could, and it's just a case of different mentalities and just don't understand each other, and that's all it is. It's nothing. I don't hold anything against them. Just don't like talking about it, especially not somewhere where it's recorded.
That's fair enough.
That's what it is. I try to make it hot, man.
I'm very intrigued by expectations that parents set on children, and then what happens when that doesn't come to fruition. Because my dad was so disappointed when I told him I was dropping out of law to study radio and television when it happened. Then when I finished the degree and I was moving to England, he was like, when you started doing this, I didn't think you'd do all the stuff that you've done. And now that you have, I'm so proud of you. Like, you've done so well. And it's like, for me, it was always like, that bit of disappointment when it happened. Then I sort of proved to him that I was able to do it and that this was a thing that's able to be done. Do you feel like...
that happens, like, with everyone, but it's just like, like with
Do you feel like it happens less often for children with immigrant parents?
No, like, it just takes longer.
Okay.
So it's like that kind of thing, because like as soon as you do a little bit good stuff, like, your dad might have been like, oh, that's pretty good, oh, I'll see what he's doing. But with us, it takes a long time, like, to get to that point, and it will get to that point, but it's just like I just don't want to talk about it right now. So
that's fair enough. Do you have brothers and sisters?
Too many.
Too many?
No, I've got 6.
Really? That is a fucking lot. That is a lot. And are they all in Birmingham?
No, it's a long story which I don't want to talk about.
They're spread out. Man, I'm asking you all these fucking sensitive questions.
You talk about all these questions that I don't want to talk about right now, just because it's like I don't mind talking about myself, but because it's the rest of my family. I shouldn't, like, they don't have a choice in what I'm saying. So
yeah.
I can't really put the business out on social media.
Yeah, no, that's fair enough. I get that. Well, let's talk about food, because you love food.
Oh, right. Okay. I'll be honest with you. I had a realization a few months ago that even though I really love food, I'm not as much of a foodie as I should be.
In the fact that you eat a lot of McDonald's?
Weird. Just because it's McDonald's next to your house doesn't mean all I eat is McDonald's.
All I've ever seen you eat is McDonald's.
Because it's right next to your house. It's right next to... That is the only reason I eat McDonald's. But I'll tell you this.
Literally just the ultimate setup.
Yeah. I'm not as much of a foodie as I'm very basic in what I eat.
Do you like cooking for yourself?
I like cooking, but I don't know how to cook.
Okay. So you like the idea of cooking?
I like the idea of like having a recipe and following it through and kind of riffing on the recipe a bit and be like, it's 1 teaspoon of paprika. I want to make it 1.5. Let's live a little.
You're crazy, man. And who's putting teaspoons of paprika in?
I don't know, man. I can't cook.
That's a fair bit of paprika.
I don't know, but I can't cook. Okay.
I made a curry last night from just nothing, like from
sheer willpower.
Just an idea. Just put some coconut milk in, fried up a little bit of duck and some veggies, and then just started throwing spices in randomly.
That's what we realize about cooking curries. Is like it's just like because when you see a fish curry, you're thinking like, yo, that looks calculated. But in reality, it's just like, yo, what we got? You got chicken, some sand. Put that into a frying pan. Like that's what curries are, isn't it? Like
some sand.
You know, spices.
These like Egyptian curries.
No, but like spices look like sand, don't it?
Yeah, I guess. Is there a lot of sand in Egypt?
Oh my god, you're such an idiot.
Is it like all sand?
It's all sand. Like basically, so Egypt. I don't know if you know the...
Are the roads like asphalt roads? Like
yeah, they've got infrastructure, but it's not great. Basically, I remember when I used to go to school, so we used to take a bus from where I lived to my school. It's a half an hour drive each way.
Okay.
Excuse me. And every day, either on the way there or on the way back, we'd see a car crash on the side.
For what reason? Just
different car. Different car would be. So either on the way to school or on the way back from school, we'd see a car just balled up on the side of the road.
But why?
No.
Because the infrastructure is bad?
No, because people don't know how to drive.
Okay, right.
Okay.
So it's like they were given cars, they built these roads up real quick, they're like, oh fuck, cars are cool.
Yeah, but Egypt's been like, Egypt had for years, man. Egypt's very old. So Egypt, it's in the Sahara Desert, so it's right. So it's north. Is that the east? The east?
Yeah.
East,
I don't know.
Northeast Africa, I think. Is that right? No, it's East Africa. Northeast Africa, right at the end of the Sahara Desert. So as if you can imagine, the winds blow like obviously the winds change directions throughout the year. So normally when they winds blow from west to east, once you get in the spring, all of the sand that's picked up by the wind throughout the Sahara Desert just goes through all of the Egyptian cities, because all of Egypt's cities are on the River Nile.
Okay.
They're all on the river.
So that's why you get like those sandstorms.
Yeah, so you just get a massive sandstorm. The whole sky goes orange. It's trippy every year.
Do you have to wear goggles?
No, you just don't leave the house that day.
Okay.
You just don't leave.
How long does it go on for?
A whole day of just like just don't go outside.
Just a day though. Just a day of
a day or two normally. Like normally you kind of see it coming. So like the days before, so a couple of days before, it'll be really windy. Like it'll be just everything. So like every time you'll you'll notice it, because like say for example, if you live like when you live in an apartment, it's like you get to where the front door is, you'll just see loads of sand in your apartments, and then okay, the storm's coming, because that's like the little bit of sand that's picked up so far.
So how much is your cars and everything? Do they all get?
Oh yeah, they all
up?
get sand all over them.
Do they get like damaged though? Because
no, they don't get damaged.
like
No. They don't get.
Rock.
No. It's the really light. It's the desert sand. It's the really light. It's basically what quicksand is made of. So the kind of sand that makes quicksand. So it's very like.
So how do they build infrastructure on such unstable ground?
No, but that's the sand that comes with the wind. Like the sand that they're building on in Egypt, where they live.
Yeah.
It's near the river. So it's like because there's
Because
like we need to remember, Egypt is one of the oldest places in the world.
Yeah.
It's like 5,000 years people have been living there. So all the land around the River Nile has been like fixed.
But what about like high-rise apartments and like asphalt roads?
People have been living there for 5,000 years.
Yeah, but they haven't been living in high-rise apartments.
Yeah, but the ground they've got concrete now, so they use concrete.
Okay. So they concrete over sand.
No, you're not getting the point I'm trying to make. The point I'm trying to make is people have been walking on this site for so long that it's basically just like hard rock.
Okay.
Did you get it?
Right.
And also with the river.
So I imagine like I've never been to a desert, like a proper desert.
Yeah, but no, it's a city. It's a city with a desert around it.
Okay, but I imagine when you say it's like walking on sand, like the ground is sand, I'm imagining like a beach.
It's nothing like a beach.
It's nothing like a beach.
Nothing like a beach.
Okay.
It just goes on and on and on and on forever.
So, bringing it back to food, what did you eat at school in Egypt? Did they feed you at school?
Obviously.
Okay, but what were you eating like Western white food?
Yeah, we're eating a lot of Western food. Basically, my school was quite a posh school in Egypt, but it was posh in Egypt, so it wasn't that posh. But it was like a lot of rich Arab kids, and then we had a lot of other Somali kids. Oh yeah, you guys went out to Somali, so you had a lot of other Somali kids.
Are you Somali?
You don't know?
No, I didn't know you were from Somalia.
Where do you think I was from?
I don't know. I thought you were. For some reason, I thought you were Jamaican, but I don't know.
I'm not Caribbean.
I don't know, man.
Do you know what Jamaica is?
No, not really.
Jamaica isn't even in Africa.
Okay.
It's not even in. It's in the Caribbean. It's where the runaway slaves lived. Anyway.
Jamaica, man.
Oh my god.
It's almost as bad as saying the N word.
Anyway, I didn't care for your joke, but that was quite rude of me. But what was I saying? I forgot what I was saying.
Something about the food.
I was saying about Somalis. So basically, there's a lot of other Somali people from all across the world who were also doing similar things to my parents were doing, and decided to live in Egypt. I think partly was just like the religion stuff, because obviously it's a Muslim country, so it's better for your religion. So
does it feel like it's a holy place, or like do you feel the history around you when you're there?
Yeah, 100% you do.
Like when you go to Jerusalem or something, you feel something while you're there. Like
you do feel it, because people are very, very proud of their religion. And it's really nice. It's really positive. There's nothing wrong with it. But yeah, there's a lot of Somali. So there are a lot of like Somali kids from America, Canada, UK, New Zealand, Australia. So it's like all these places, all these English-speaking countries, they were all living there. So like I've known people on Facebook who live all across the world, and it's kind of strange, like seeing what they've come up to, or what they've turned into.
So they've lived in Egypt for a bit, and then they've gone back to
where they came from. Because obviously, so we left in 2010, and in 2011, obviously, the Arab Spring happened, and everything's gone to shit.
What's the Arab Spring?
Are you kidding me?
Yeah,
oh
I don't know.
My God.
I don't know, man.
So you know how Syria is basically in war right now.
Okay. Yes.
But kind of started in the Arab Spring. So in January 2011, a massive demonstration started in Egypt to overthrow the president Hosni Mubarak,
Okay.
Husni Mubarak. And I should say it properly, the Arabic accent.
Does this have to do with Palestine and Israel?
No, nothing to do with
nothing
that.
to do with that.
And he and basically that whole demonstration was organised through Twitter. So
Okay.
it's basically through Arab Twitter. You know, you've had a black Twitter, right?
No.
You've not had a black Twitter?
I'm not black, so...
No, but like, come on, you must have...
No, I've not heard of
You know,
black Twitter.
basically, there's different types. There's different parts of Twitter. So if you're like, so there's Black Twitter, there's Muslim Twitter, there's Arab Twitter, there's Australian Twitter as well. So you know how people, like, you know, if people talk in Australia, type on Twitter in their Australian accents.
Yeah.
That's us Aussie Twitter. And and if you go on it, you'll see stuff that you'll be like, I can't believe people are talking about this on there. And it's the same for like Arabs, black people, Muslims.
Okay.
You don't know about this stuff.
But is it you just download the
No.
same Twitter
It's
app?
the same Twitter.
Okay.
It's just like people you follow.
Okay.
But it's just like those kind of people all talking to each other.
Right, okay.
So-
I don't really fuck with Twitter. I've never really
You
been
need
on
to get
Twitter.
on it, man. Twitter's great.
Okay.
Twitter's great.
I don't get it.
There's a lot of strangers I follow who I know nothing about, but they're very funny people.
Okay.
I wish I could be their friends in real life, but I don't know how to talk to them. Like, I just like their tweets, and I'm just like, mate, I'm sure they're like thinking, who the fuck is this black guy?
Black guy from Birmingham.
Yeah. What was I saying? I forgot what I was saying.
Black Twitter.
No, I was saying something. Oh, Arab Twitter. That's what it was. So yeah, through Twitter, they organised that massive protest, and they rioted. They demanded that he goes, and it started in Egypt, and then it went all across the Arab world, and that's what made. That's what happened in Algeria. That brought down the guy who was running it. What was his name? Muammar Gaddafi. And got him killed. And then it kind of went
It's
into
Colonel Gaddafi, yeah?
Colonel Gaddafi, and
Yeah.
then it went into Syria. And when Syria started uprising, the guy who was in charge. So everywhere else, they kind of either got killed or they're kind of like, okay, fine, I'll resign.
So it's now a war zone?
No, Syria is since,
Okay.
since 2011, and it's pretty messed up because I've got like some friends who are like actual Syrian, and like I remember when it first started, like they actually did like a whole campaign to get their literally like first cousin who like lost his some family members from Syria to the UK, and they had to fight him in the Home Office and everything. But
Did they make it?
yeah, he made it, and he
Okay.
lives here now. He's living his life and going to British schools. He's like 12 years old or something.
Fascinating.
I know, but basically, I've been watching a lot of history videos on YouTube, and I've noticed that basically, like the one I remember watching a lot about South America, and I was just thinking to myself, wow, the whole world's been going on. Like I forget sometimes that the rest of the planet is happening
Yes.
while we're living our lives here. Do you know what I mean?
I feel like a lot of British people are so ignorant to the rest of the world. Like there is nowhere else but England.
Yeah.
I feel like Australia, we sort of keep abreast of what's happening, but not really what's happening like north. Like we've got so many fears because we're so close to North Korea, we're so close to China. There's a lot of stuff happening.
You got to be afraid of those people.
Yeah, and you've
because of. No, I'm not gonna say the skin color, but.
okay.
I said it anyway, but now it doesn't sound like I made a bad joke. I don't know, that's the mark of a professional comedian. Please book me for your gigs.
Adam, we've almost done an hour.
Have we?
Yeah.
God damn. Let's keep it going, bro. I'm still looking better to do.
No, I need to have a drink. I need to take a break from you. Have you enjoyed it?
It's been good fun, but like, what is the point of what I've said? Because I've just talked about all sorts. Or have you actually made a narrative
It doesn't really need to be a narrative. It's more, educating people
about me?
about you and things that you know about. Some of the things you shared with me today, I didn't know about. So I assume people.
But you don't know a lot of them.
I know, but
You studied broadcasting. Who studies broadcasting?
I studied entertainment, majoring in radio and television.
Yeah, but like radio and television are dying industries.
I know.
Why would you
I've realised that. What an idiot.
How does that make you feel?
I had an existential crisis when I was looking for work recently. Where I
I was there when I was sleeping on your couch last time.
Well, I sat in my bath and I just cried, and I was like, my degree is completely useless unless I can get into radio. And then, because that day, Global in England had fired like 200 on-air announcers because they're just syndicating their whole breakfast network. So this is the future, mate. Podcasting is the future.
Gang, baby, we out here.
If people can listen to this, learn something about you, and about politics and about fucking world issues. You're probably the most worldly guest I've had. Most people just talk about fucking music festivals and canoeing.
Yeah, I'm interesting.
You are.
I'm interesting. I
A
don't know.
fascinating guy, but doesn't like to talk about his family.
Yeah, just because it's not me. I'll talk about myself all day. Listen, like I'm the main character in this film. I'm the protagonist in this story. It's like what you want. If you want that, you can watch the prequels. But well, you're here with the main event. Okay, then.
Beautiful. Any messages to any fans out there?
Listen, if you are my fan, please let me know because I don't think I've got any. Okay.
Mr. Adam Elmi, everybody. Thank you, mate.
Find me on social media and all that shit. I love you. Bye.